We are coming to you live from historic Phil Welch Stadium here in St. Joseph, Missouri, as you are watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. I am Truman Greasel, and alongside with me tonight is Jackson Phelps, and your Mustangs are continuing to play at a fever pace here at home. They come in 14-2 and 9-1 in the Mink League, fresh off their first win of the shorter homestand this week, a dominant 12-0 win over the North Missouri Naturals last night, a non-league game. But Jackson welcoming back in the Renegades for the second time, who are hot amongst themselves. Mustangs really dominated them the last time they played earlier this month, but the Renegades are really starting to play some good baseball, and now we get to come in here, and this is a bit of a rivalry that's been brewing these past couple of years, and we get another installation of that tonight.
We do, and this Renegades team has all the talent in the world to come in to Phil Welch and come away with the win. Did not happen last time coming against the Mustangs. The Mustangs off a fresh win. Got 2 of the 3 in the recent road trip we were talking about that yesterday. A loss to Clarinda has their only loss in the Mink League. But the Renegades are looking to come in here and try and catch a slip in the crack with these Mustangs. But with a guy like Aaron Harrington on the bump who's starting tonight for the Mustangs, it is going to be a challenging feat for them. But they are hot. But this is the toughest place to play in the Mink if you want to try and get a streak going. And right now the Mustangs are just looking to get 2 of 2 here in the homestand.
Aaron Harrington on the bump. He has been virtually unhittable this season, has yet to allow a run in 14 innings pitched. It has been quite impressive what the tall southpaw has been able to do. As the Mustangs, only a 3-game homestand this weekend. Coming in throughout the week, they started Sunday in Clarinda, lost that one, but have won 4 straight, 4-1 weeks so far, looking to build upon that. Jackson, another thing is just this lineup continues to produce. They may not have guys, ranking towards the top in necessarily a lot of categories, but as a team, they just collectively find ways to score runs.
And I've always said it, I'd rather have a team that is consistent and just above average versus one guy versus the other 9 who can be the top of the leaderboards in the Mink. I'd want to have guys that are all consistent in different areas. We see guys who are getting some power. We saw some extra base hits last night off the bat of Justin George. Just guys that are in the area that can make sure that plays are made in different ways on the base paths. You got guys like Freeman and Luke Hart. You just got different pieces in this game, and so really like to see what we can do tonight.
It's a hot one here tonight, hottest one of the summer up to date. Wind's blowing out. Should be a fun one, as we'll have first pitch and starting lineups coming up next. Aaron Harrington takes the bump for his 4th start of the season. So far, he has been magnificent. 2-0 in 14 innings, 21 strikeouts, and only 4 walks. And opponents are only batting 176 against him. And he gets the start tonight here on a very, very warm Friday night in St. Joe.
It is definitely going to be a hot one, but just like the weather outside, the Mustangs have been hot, and especially with Aaron Harrington on the bump, it's going to be a tough time for this Renegades lineup to kind of get something started like we kept mentioning. And as hot as Harrington has been, it's going to be the toughest battle of the year so far, especially for these Renegades. They, like you mentioned, they are also coming off some nice wins. But this lineup, Aaron Harrington's not going to give them anything easy.
Now we get a look at that Renegade lineup. PJ Green in the leadoff spot and in center field for them, followed by Ethan Milius, Lucas Weitholder, Alex DiGiacinto, then Drew Vonderhaar in that 5 spot and playing first base, rounds out the middle of the order. Then it's the bottom of the lineup in Maddox Meyer, Tyler Toe, Ben Miller, and Connor Fleeg. This is the Renegades lineup that they've won 3 in a row and 4 out of 5 after starting their season 5-7. Now find themselves in 3rd place in the Mink and really looking to chase down Clarinda and the Mustangs, who are at the top, and look to better position themselves still early in this summer, but not too many weeks left before playoff time rolls around in late July.
It really does go by fast. I mean, the Mink League does go by within a couple of months, and you get a couple of games at home. Really nice wins at home and nice away stand as well, 2 of the 3. Just the Mustangs are just looking to continue dominance throughout the Mink, but it does go by fast, and the Renegades are definitely going to have to get some nice wins against some of the tougher teams like the A's and the Mustangs here at home. So a crucial one would say, to get their fire started once again for the Renegades. But Mustangs, dominance in the Mink, multiple run rule victories, 10 run plus victories. I mean, this team is as good as it gets.
Just seems like night in and night out, we can expect the Mustangs to go for 10-plus runs. It has been quite the run they've been on, put up 12 last night. And they play so much better at home. I mean, they had their first road trip, but still, out of the 16 games they have played, I mean, just 4 of those have come on the road. So it has been quite impressive to see them play here inside the confines of Phil Welch Stadium. As Harrington done with his warm-up tosses. Mustangs in there. Friday night, City Connects. The black tops, white bottoms. STJ on the front. Numbers and letters outlined in white and red. Renegades in their road navy blues with yellow trim and the gray pants. PJ Green getting ready to step foot in that right-hand batter's box as our umpires are ready. Harrington's ready, and your Mustangs are ready. We've got Friday Night Baseball here at Phil Welch. The first pitch of the night drops in for a strike, and we are underway. It's PJ Green, 2-way player out of the Missouri University in Columbia. Didn't get any chances to swing the bat this past spring. Instead, he threw 26 1/3 innings from the mound. Harrington likes to use that fastball, establish it on the outside corner, and drop in those breaking pitches. So that one, Green just way out in front of a breaking pitch inside. So now he finds himself 2-2.
Yeah, Green did a good job. Just got inside of that one. Just really did a good job keeping the hands in. Just got a little too up in front of that.
That one grounded right over to Jack Mosh. Easy play for him, and Green is retired for the first out of the game.
Good pitch by Harrington. Just kept it over that outside half. You mentioned that outside fastball. Put it right there for Green. Put a nice swing on it, but it was exactly where Harrington wanted it, and Mosh just an easy play over to first.
Green is retired for the first out. Now it'll be Ethan Milius. Milius did not play the last time these two teams faced. Back on June the 5th, which the Mustangs run ruled Jeff City 12-2 in just 8 innings. Milius, a Lindenwood University commit out of Fulton High School in Fulton, Missouri. He's now ahead of Harrington here, 2-1. Milius joins a definitely young Renegade roster. A lot of high school seniors that just graduated a month ago looking to play their next steps at the college level. Do have a few guys who have just finished up their first years, but then just a sprinkling of those sophomores and juniors part of this Renegade roster. Milius has taken Harrington to the count full here, the second batter of tonight's game.
Definitely be a huge thing here for the Renegades to get an early runner with just one out, trying to draw Harrington off.
That one ground to the left side, sliding play off the glove of Felix. Coy from his back foot made a good attempt, but Milius beats it out, and it will be an infield single and give the Renegades their first base runner of the night.
And that is exactly what you're told to do there. 3-2, had a pitch that was in the zone, drove it right in, kept, like, once again, the hands inside, and put a good grounder over to that third short side. Just a hard play to make over at third.
So now it'll be Lucas Weitholder playing shortstop and batting in the 3-hole tonight. Weitholder also did not play back on June the 5th. As he lines one right up the middle, slices away from Lucard, who slips and falls as they're going to wave around Milius, and he will jog home easily, and it's going to be an RBI single for Lucas Weitholder, and the Renegades strike first here in the first.
Just a good swing put on there by Weitholder. Took the inside fastball and drove it right to center field. And in that sun, a little bit, it can be kind of hard to read it for Lucart. Just could not make the correct read at all. And off the ground, and just a good base running by Mill.
Webb City High School, part of the COC. Webb City High School, part of the COC conference. Vonderhaar, another guy, did not play in that first meeting between these two opponents. It's Vonderhaar hitting .238 so far to start the Summers. This one grounded to Felix. He'll go to Mosh for one. Over to first. Not in time. Vonderhaar beats it out. Tough slide from DiGiacinto. And it'll just go down as a 5-4 fielder's choice and keep the inning alive for the Renegades.
A big out there from Harrington. And a beautiful play made by Felix to go over to Mosh at second. Just a lot of speed coming off the bat from Vonderhaar.
So now it's Maddox Meyer, the DH today. Batted leadoff the first matchup between these two sides, and he was 0 for 2 with 2 hit by pitches. Meyer hitting below that Mendoza line, 194 in 10 games played. Does have 5 RBIs, though. Harrington just looking to get out of this inning and get the Mustangs to the dish. That breaking ball chopped right in front of the plate, but fouls. Now the count evens at 2-2. Meyer did not play last night in the Renegades' 4-3 win over Chillicothe. He got the night off. Last played on the 18th and was 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk against Sedalia. Harrington's 2-2 offering. Fouls it back and stays alive.
All right, doing a good job here, just keeping Harrington guessing up at the mound. Harrington's giving him a good surplus of everything. But Meyer's doing a good job watching him all the way through. He's got himself a 2-2 count. So a good spot to be in with 2 outs and a runner on.
Another 2-2 offering from Harrington. Again, Meyer able to stay alive and foul it off. Meyer originally from St. Charles, Missouri, so across the state out of St. Charles High. Only got 5 ABs at William Jewell this past spring as Harrington thought he dropped in a breaking ball in the corner. Instead, now the count goes full as Vonderhaar will be off on running on the pitch. Full count offering. Called strike 3, top of the zone. First strikeout of the night from Harrington. And it ends the first inning, but the Renegades plate 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left. We're headed to the bottom of the first here at Phil Welch. Your Mustangs are coming up to the plate, down 2-0. Renegades plate 2 in the top of the first as we get a look at your Mustangs starting lineup tonight. There'll be Logan Miller leading off, followed by Darius Freeman and Braden Lukehart, and then old reliable Dom Felix. Jack Mosh and Chris Coy man the middle. And the bottom of the lineup rounded out by Trevor McCollum, Parker Little back in the catching duties, and then Jaden Little at first base as this lineup getting punched in the mouth to start, find themselves down 2-0 early. Not often this season have the Mustangs found themselves trailing. And if they have, it's been only by a run or 2. Miller currently rides a 9-game hit streak into tonight. So the Mustangs facing Kyle Haynes. He makes his first start, has pitched in 8 innings though. 3.38 ERA, 7 Ks to 5 walks. Opponents are hitting 200, so he has been very effective so far out of the bullpen. for the Renegades. So now Miller has worked the count 3-1. Miller got the night off last night. Got the night off against the North Missouri Naturals. That one's lined center field, but Green comes in on that ball, hangs up just enough for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Nice hit put on by Miller. Took it back where he found it up the middle. Green didn't really have to move much in center field. Brought it all the way in for the first out.
That'll be Darius Freeman. Freeman had his 7-game hit streak broken last night. During that stretch, he was 11 for 32 with 5 doubles, a triple, 11 runs batted in, and 5 walks. It's the DHing duties tonight as he tries to lay one down the third base line, but great read by DiGiacinto, and on the throw off the glove of Vonderhaar, and Freeman easily makes it to second base on what will go down as an E3 as Vonderhaar just didn't catch that ball.
Tough play made for the infield there for these Renegades, but Freeman did a good job realizing that it was shortly off the glove. Hustled all the way over to second. Now the Mustangs with the runner in scoring position where they're most comfortable with these bats, only with 1 out, looking to do some damage.
Now it'll be Braden Lukehart. Stepping in for his first chance, and an RBI chance at that. That one, first pitch swinging, pop to center. Green shielding his eyes from the sun, but he will squeeze it and make the grab for the second out as Lukehart is retired on 1 pitch. Now it's Dom Felix. In the hot corner tonight, third base. 4 for 8 in his last 2 games, includes 2 doubles and a walk. He also got the night off last night. He'll pop one up. Shallow right field over his fleek to make the grab. And Haynes is able to work around the 1-out air to Freeman as through 1 inning, Renegades up 2-0. It's your Mustangs strand 1. 1 left, no hits. We're headed to the second, 2-0 Renegades. Through one here at Phil Welch, Renegades lead your Mustangs 2-0. Mustangs only send 4 to the plate as now the Renegades back at it for another chance at Aaron Harrington. Sent 6 to the plate in the first, scored 2 runs on 3 hits as Tyler Toe gets us started. Left fielder tonight. Truman State commit out of Columbia, Missouri, Rockbridge High School. Hitting right at that Mendoza line, 200 to start this season.
I'd like to see Harrington here trying to work that count a little bit harder. Don't want to lose these Renegades too easy.
It's that one. Don't know where that one missed, but now it's 3-1. So far, the Renegades have been jumping on Harrington's fastballs. When he's tried to paint to the corners, hasn't been getting the calls. That one flared out to left. In comes Miller, and he'll easily make the catch for out number 1 here in the second.
That was a beautiful pitch from Harrington. I really like to see the jam on the inside half of the plate. Tao just couldn't get a good swing on it. He did flare one out. Just held up just enough for Miller. Tough play in the sun, but Harrington needed that quick first out. Got that back in the first, but just needs to focus on putting it over the plate.
Now it's the 8-hole hitter, Ben Miller, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. First time these two teams met. Miller in his 10th game of the season, hitting 138. He's really trying to turn that average around. This is the lineup that's definitely front-loaded tonight. Now Harrington has Miller down 1 and 2. Miller, so far, 3-game hit streak. Was 2 for 4 last night against Chillicothe as that one chopped to the right side. Mosh is able to read the hop. He's able to recover and throw out Miller by a step.
Tough bounce there on just the exit off the grass. Tough play for Mosh to kind of read off the dirt and that grass, but did a good job sticking with it, keeping the ball in front of him and making the play to first. I know myself, those are the hardest plays to make, especially in that infield, but a good job by Mosh, staying consistent with it.
So that'll be the 9-hole hitter, Connor Fleeg. Originally a St. Louisian, currently playing at Drury University. He was in the leadoff spot back on June the 5th. He was 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. But he'll look to get a bit of a 2-out rally going. Is that another pitch? They say that Fleeg did go around on the check. That was another pitch, Jackson, that Harrington looked like it. He thought it definitely caught the bottom of the zone. But so far, no call from our home plate umpire.
It definitely did look like it. Harrington's been given some of these 50-50 calls to this umpire tonight, painting him on those corners. He's doing a good job at it. He's been missing on a couple of those, gifted by the Blues, some not. But he's doing a good job in this inning, getting some 2 quality outs. And you need to get that shift in the momentum as a starter in the first couple of innings after giving up 2 in the first. He's doing a good job here in the second.
Bounce back inning here for Harrington. 2 up, 2 down, looking to retire the side in order. Instead, it'll be a 2-out walk to Fleeg, and it brings back up the top of the lineup in P.J. Green.
Green had a sharp hit ball over to Mosh at second, looking to continue to do the same thing, get a good piece off of Harrington to continue this inning.
Green grounded to Mosh to start the game back in the first before the Renegades rattled off 3 straight hits and plated a pair of runs. Harrington starts him off. The breaking ball at the knees. Green was 2 for 5 yesterday against the Mudcats, and then 3 for 3 the day before against Sedalia. 3 RBIs in his last 2 games. in hits in 3 straight games after he went 4 games without getting a hit. Green, much like the Renegades team as a whole, starting to play some good baseball. That one line foul just outside of third. Now finds himself down in the count 1-2.
Green, I can see visually upset with himself after he got that breaking ball. He got a good swing on it, just could not get it into that fair ground on that third base side. Upset because he's going to want that one back.
Had a good pitch to hit. Instead, Harrington has him in his wheelhouse. Again, tries to drop in that breaking ball in the inside corner to these righties. So far, just been uncompetitive pitches that these Renegade hitters have been easily able to lay off. Now the 2-2 offering. Another breaking ball just below the zone.
Oh, that is a close one.
Groans from the crowd as that sure looked like it caught the bottom of the zone right at the knees. But instead, P.J. Green has responded to get the count full. Now the full count low, and it'll be back-to-back walks here with 2 outs for Jeff City.
Harrington just upset as it looked like he could have gotten the strikeout backwards on K, but on Green, just could not get it to fall into that zone. Just had some missed opportunities for Harrington, but he's doing a good job. He's putting him in a spot where, you know, he's going to either make a play on the bat or he's going to get the call from the ump, and he's doing a decent job. You know, back-to-back walks, but with 2 outs on the board, just looking to get out of it.
Brings back up Ethan Milius, who started the hit parade in the first with a single and then came around to score. Harrington just a little bit more rattled than we've seen. Had some things not go his way. Just starting to affect him a little bit. He hasn't been able to cruise like he has in his previous starts. And now as Milius down 0-2. Needs to get him right here.
Want to see if he wants to attack that fastball in the outer part with Milius. Got him on the first pitch. We'll see if he wants to go back to it.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs, and Milius stays alive. Also seen that a lot so far, just 11 batters into this game. Harrington's been ahead of a lot of these hitters, but the Renegades have been able to foul off his put-away pitches.
Looking for that breaking ball here, trying to get Milius off his tempo.
Oh, their 0-2 doesn't clip the corner. Now Milius has worked it 2-2. Last time Milius got the start with the bat was back on June the 15th. He went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs and a walk in an 11-8 loss against Chillicothe. That one, he's able to line it into left. Miller gets it on a couple hops and it bounces past him. Into scores Fleeg. They'll wave around Green. He will easily score, and it's now 4-0 Jeff City here in the second.
Milius did a good job ripping it into left. Miller not able to put the glove on the ground. Happened a couple of times for these Mustangs out in that outfield. And with Green's speed from first to home, easily plating 2. Exactly what the Renegades wanted to happen with 2 outs. And Harrington is just upset, loses that command with that fastball. He is giving up 4-2 to these Renegades.
Said back-to-back hitters down 0-2. Got the first 2 outs quickly, and it's resulted after getting 2 outs, 2 walks. Now a 2-run single, and then Milius advancing to second on the E7. Like Jackson said, the second time we've seen a ball into the outfield eat up these Mustangs outfielders, who have been so good this season in the field. But now it's Lucas Weitholder, who already has an RBI double to his name. And we'll look to add to that. Weitholder with that hit in the first boosts his average back up to 300. And now once again, Harrington has a Renegade hitter with 2 strikes on him. Can he put him away this time? Two-two offering. Outside again. Breaking ball has not been as crisp tonight for Harrington. It's bit him hard. Weitholder, a St. Louis University commit, will draw the walk, and it's now 4 straight batters have reached here with 2 outs here in the second.
Harrington's going to get a quick talk from Griffith, and Coach Mack just trying to regain the control. He's really lost himself, it looks like, with those breaking balls. Fastballs have been a little bit more consistent than those breaking balls, but Harrington, an outing that we just haven't seen so far this season, very unlike himself. And like you mentioned, Truman, this defense very unlike themselves to start this ball game as well. A lot of miscues, a lot of missed throws, and just can't get the glove to the ball. And it's just something that we haven't seen from the Mustangs to start a game this season.
And you got to give credit to the Renegades. This is really the first team we've seen come in here to Phil Welch and really not just punch the Mustangs once, but come back and hit them again. It's a pair of runs here in each of these first 2 innings. Again, you know, we've talked about it. We've just been so accustomed to these Mustangs pitching, just mowing down hitters, that we really haven't seen a guy perform like this where, I mean, when Harrington, he really only has his fastball tonight, and the Renegades know that, and they're just teeing off right now so far through an inning and 2/3.
Renegades are just doing really smart with that bat. I mean, they're putting with the ball where they see those gaps. They've been hitting them, you know, pull side most of the night. They're doing a good job getting ahead and early with Harrington. And they're doing a great job plating home some runs. The base running from the Renegades has also just been lethal so far.
Now it's the Renegades' leading hitter, Alex Digiacinto, hitting .368. Leading this team with 14 hits. One of just 3 guys with double-digit hits up to this point in the summer. 14 for 38. Pair of doubles. Now his 9 RBIs, and looking to add to that as he singled on the first pitch he saw and drove in a run in the first. But again, Harrington now has another batter with 2 strikes on him. Can he put him away? Keep that ball away from the middle of the plate and away from these Renegade barrels. Instead, that one's lined to right. In comes McCollum to make the tumbling grab and end the nightmarish start to this game for Aaron Harrington. Has 2 runs home in the inning, 2 left on a hit and 3 walks as we're headed to the bottom of the second. Your Mustangs trail 4-0. Mustangs find themselves in very unfamiliar territory, down 4-0. Just an inning and a half into this Friday night Mink League matchup as the Jeff City Renegades, who got here a little bit delayed, have come out here a rejuvenated team. Not only punched the Mustangs in the mouth once, they've come around and done it again. So it'll be Jack Mosh to lead off for your Mustangs, as the Mustangs just sent 4 to the plate in the first. Had a chance to score a run as Darius Freeman was left stranded at second base. But so far, Kyle Haynes has himself a nice lead to pitch with.
Adds that comfortability. And for these Renegades here at Phil Welch, it's definitely all the comfortability in the world is all you're going to ask for.
Mosh currently riding a 9-game hit streak. During that time, he's 13 for 35. 9 runs, 5 runs driven in, a trio of doubles, and 8 walks drawn. Leads this team with 15 walks on the season. Attended Minnesota University this past spring. Currently in the transfer portal, just trying to weigh his options. What his next collegiate steps might be. Right now, he's just trying to get these Mustangs any little momentum and try to get them back in this game. Kyle Haynes, last time he pitched was back on June the 11th, threw 3 innings out of the bullpen against Carroll. Mosh with a nice battle here to start the second. 3 innings is the most Haynes has gone this season. He pitched 3 innings on June the 6th. Gave up 3 runs against Clarinda. Only 8 innings thus far, and that's the only outing that he has given up runs. It's a slow breaking ball in the outside corner. Mosh whiffs on it and strikes out to start the second for St. Joe.
Mosh honestly kind of wasn't even expecting it to be that early. I mean, he was way ahead of himself. The visual frustration from him kind of is the way these first couple of innings have been going for the Mustangs, and just way out in front. Could not even get a piece on it. He's walking back for the first down with a K.
Now it'll be Chris Coy. University of Nebraska Omaha commit, Benton High School graduate, playing in his 16th game of the summer. Currently hitting .291. 14 hits and 48 trips to the plate. That one's lined, a couple hops, scooped up by Weitholder, and he throws out Coy by a couple steps, and it's 2 up, 2 down here in the second for Haynes.
Coy can't be too mad at himself there. I mean, it was a really good piece. Inside part of the bat, got the hands around, and a good drive to short. But an amazing play by Weitholder. Across the body, Coy's got that speed, had to beat him out, but Coy can't be too upset. I mean, that was a good piece.
Now it'll be Trevor McCollum. Got the night off last night. Last played back on Tuesday as the Mustangs' Wednesday game in Chillicothe was rained out. He was 0 for 2 with 3 walks. The Mustangs played the Renegades earlier this month. Kyle Haynes looking to set down the Mustangs 1-2-3 here in the second. That one lined to right, back goes Milius, and he will let it drop. And there is the first Mustangs hit of the night. 2-out single by Trevor McCollum.
Beautiful swing by McCollum. Took the outside pitch right into the right field area. Hey, not that much loft on that one. That's all you can ask for. And over at Milius. Could make a good play on that one. Had the kind of played back more towards that warning track. Just could not even get a chance on the ball. First hit on the night for the Mustangs.
Now it'll be the catcher, Parker Griffith. Griffith started the first 8 games for the Mustangs, but is just appearing in his 4th game out of the last 10. It's with the addition of Easton Philippi to the dugout. Allows for Griffith to be able to split time and have more days off in between starts. Much like the Renegades did in the top half of this inning, 2-out magic. Mustangs are looking to replicate that here and just chip away at this 4-run deficit they face here early. As Griffith trying to work the walk, finds himself ahead in the count 3-0. Trevor McCollum is a potential threat to steal 5 stolen bases on the season, but also has been caught 3 times. But he won't need to steal second to get into scoring position as Parker Griffith works the 4-pitch, 2-out walk, and it now brings up the 9-hole hitter, Jaden Little.
Mustangs just got to take note of that at-bat from Griffith. A really nice at-bat. Wasn't even looking to swing. He was just wanting to stay confident and composed, and ended up working out in his favor. A 4-pitch walk is all that the Mustangs can really ask for in this scenario.
Little also got the night off last night. Has a nice little 3-game hit streak. After a bit of a slow start to the season for Little, he's really rebounded these past 3 games he's played in. 5 for 10, triple, a double. Then the big numbers, 6 runs driven in and 5 walks. Mustangs could just really use a hit to the outfield to score McCollum, as Haynes right now has lost the zone after giving up a couple base runners. He's thrown 6 straight balls outside the zone. Now make it 7.
Likely see here just a nice easy pitch over the zone, but hey, for Little, this could be an opportunity of a lifetime if you see something easy to get.
Said the light stays red, but Haynes is able to clip the top half of the zone. Haynes really hasn't struggled with command, as he did have 4 walks in those 3 innings against Clarinda, but no walks his last time out, 1 walk in his other outing. But now he has 2 here, as now the bases are full. Back for the top of the lineup in Logan Miller.
Once again, these Mustangs doing it any way they can to get on base, and right now we've seen these Mustangs so comfortable in these 2-out situations and with runners in scoring position. And a guy like Logan Miller up, who is a surplus of hits and hits with runners in scoring position, is the exact guy you want up.
Miller in his 12th game of the season. Line to PJ Green in center his first time up, but looking to come through big time, Jackson. And I mean, that's another thing we've seen. Definitely the Mustangs, this is the biggest deficit they've faced this season, but it's also one of those things that, especially here at home, when they have maybe faced that 1-run or 2-run deficit, the opposing teams just have let them get back in the game. They haven't kept the foot on the gas, and we're kind of seeing it right here. Haynes was cruising through the second, but then a single and now back-to-back walks, and now has left the door open for a chance to the Mustangs to get back in it, especially with their ace Harrington struggling.
Definitely it's just, you know, a difference in these games that we've seen here at Phil Welch to now. These fans have really seen these Mustangs dominate, and here, I mean, they've got their backs against the walls against these Renegades. They're speaking volumes with these Renegades defense and the way that they've been pitching around, and we'll have to see here if Miller kind of wants to add to that. Hey, this year's been a dominant season with runners in scoring position. See if he wants to continue that remark.
Miller only has 1 run driven in. He's been the catalyst for scoring runs, but hasn't been the guy needed to drive them in. But here in this spot, they need him to drive in a couple runs. So he was able to work the count full in his first trip. Got a nice pitch on 3-2, but lined it right at PJ Green. That ball hung up just enough. As again, Haynes continues to struggle with the zone. Has only thrown 2 strikes in his last 12 pitches. But that one grounded right back up the middle and threw into center. There's McCollum. They'll wave Griffith around easily into thirds. Little, and the throw gets away. Little's coming home, and it's a 3-run RBI single with an error added in now. Just like that, the Mustangs have cut it to 1.
And you can notch that one up. Miller drives initially 2 in, and the throw from Green off the line. That'll bring home yet another run in Little. And now look what happens. Miller finds his way on third, and the Mustangs continue to do it. The 2 out runners in scoring position, RBI hits. 2 now hits on the board, only down 1 run. Mustangs thought they were out of it. Well, welcome to Phil Welch, where anything can happen for these Mustangs.
Logan Miller hadn't only driven in 1 all season and now drives in 3. Is that one cut off? Nice play by Connor Fleeg to end the threat. But the Mustangs get right back in it, as it so far appears that we are going to be in a score fest. 3 home in the inning on 2 hits and 2 walks. We're headed to the 3rd. It's now 4-3 Renegades. So we got a brand new ball game here, just 2 innings into this Friday night Mink League matchup, as the Mustangs cut the lead to 1 after a 3 RBI run scoring single by Logan Miller. After Kyle Haynes was able to retire the first 2 hitters, it was a single by Trevor McCollum, back-to-back walks by Parker Griffith and Jaden Little, and then the big knock by Logan Miller. As we get a look at your Mustangs defensive lineup tonight, again, that outfield so far has struggled. It's Logan Miller in left, Braden Lukehart in center, and Trevor McCollum in right. The infield's Dom Felix, Chris Coy, Jack Mosh, and Jaden Little left to right. And then your battery is Aaron Harrington and Parker Griffith, as Harrington maybe trying to have a little bit more confidence now that his offense has gotten him back in the game, and just keep this score right where it is.
Yeah, Harrington's job right now, just be comfortable. Get yourself out of these innings. Keep the lead at 1, because the Mustangs can get the job done with the bats. You just got to be comfortable here.
It'll be Drew Vonderhaar to lead off the Renegade 3rd. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 1st. Vonderhaar guy, multi-sport athlete at Webb City. Played football, basketball, and baseball. Very successful programs down in the very southwest corner of Missouri. Guy I actually got to play against.
Oh, really?
Played against him in baseball, commentated in basketball.
Okay.
Actually, one of my favorite games I called for Ozark basketball was when they upset then state-ranked Webb City.
Nice.
Very crazy game, but Vonderhaar, guy who I've gotten to experience playing throughout his high school days. So there's a good breaking ball from Harrington. It's now 2-2.
Love the good little stories here at Phil Welch. It can be a small world either here with the broadcast, the fans, or the players on the field. That's a cool little story to have, Truman.
Griffith's shaking up a little bit. Why you gotta always wear a cup playing catcher? All those kids at home, that think cups are uncomfortable or not needed, should definitely wear a cup and protect the soldiers. Vonderhaar got the night off last night against Chillicothe. 0 for 4 back on Wednesday against Sedalia. Vonderhaar has run the count full. The full count offering outside. And it's a leadoff walk after yet again Aaron Harrington had a Renegade hitter down. 1-2. loses him for the walk.
Yeah, Harrington just really, in those two strike approaches we've seen tonight, he just really wants to try and avoid the zone as much as possible, try and get him swinging, or try and freeze him on a backwards K, but Harrington really just needs to go back to his fundamentals, go back to the things that got you to that 1-ball, 2-strike count. And I want to see more of that here as we're approach the 3rd inning, and don't want to see any more losses with walks and 2-strike counts.
3rd walk of the night by Harrington. He only had 4 in 14 innings coming in, as there is movement out in that right center field bullpen. For St. Joe is their ace laboring here early. Now it's Maddox Meyer, struck out looking to end the 1st. It's his 2nd at-bat of the night. Meyer guy, only 1 multi-hit game so far this season, as that breaking pitch again, just below the zone. It's now the count 3-1.
Another pitch by Harrington. I love what I see right there. I mean, it's a perfect placed pitch. Just hasn't been going his way tonight.
There's a fastball clipping the outside corner, runs the count full. Which is not the typical Aaron Harrington we're used to seeing tonight. He's used to being very efficient, attacking these hitters, but he really has let these hitters dictate the pace. That one grounded through the hole and on into left field. Back-to-back runners reach to start the 3rd, and the Renegades trying to respond after the Mustangs cut the lead to 1 with a little rally of their own.
Mir with that backwards K back in the 1st. Did a great job. The inside pitch once again ripped that 3rd short side, and it gets through into left. Just a good piece of hitting on 3-2. Really like to see now runners on 1st and 2nd with no outs for these Renegades. They're really trying to prove some points on Harrington, and we'll see how long these Mustangs want to keep him in.
That'll be Tyler Toe. 0 for 1 tonight. Flied out to Miller and left as he'll drop down a bunt. Harrington picks it up. And Toe is safe, beats out the bunt. And now the bases are all loaded up.
That is a great bunt put down by Toe. Now, it did not work out in the favor, but Harrington put a nice throw down. But now the bases are going to be loaded for Miller, nearing the top of the lineup for the Renegades.
The grass very much dead in that bunt, as that bunt maybe wasn't good directionally right in front of home plate. Kind of surprised Griffith wasn't able to jump up out of his crouch and get that, because Harrington, especially being the lefty, had to spin and throw to Mosh. But give credit to Toe, as now they're all loaded up for Ben Miller, who grounded out to Mosh. Corners are in, but middle is playing for the double play ball. That one grounded through the hole and past Coy. One's in to score. Here comes Meyer. He will score, and it's a 2-run single by Ben Miller. And the Renegades move their lead back up to 3, and Johnny Coy already out of the dugout. And that might do it for Aaron Harrington here tonight.
Just a rough spot there. Miller put another good swing on for these Renegades. And again, just didn't work out in the favor for Harrington. Just another pitch that got lined into that left field through the 3rd shortstop area. But with the bases juiced, these Renegades, like I mentioned a couple innings ago, the base running's been magnificent. And they are really coming after these Mustangs, now up 3 once again.
Cade Perkins is the first arm out of the pen, but we'll take a break as he warms up. Renegades still threatening, runners on 1st and 2nd. Nobody out and 2 already home here in the 3rd. Mustangs make an early call to the bullpens. It'll be Caden Carter out of Missouri Southern, making his 5th appearance of the season. So far, has thrown 6 innings, just giving up the 1 run, so 1.50 ERA, 8 strikeouts to 2 walks. Opponents are only hitting 181. But Jackson, I mean, definitely not the start you wanted out of Aaron Harrington, but now you're turning it over to a bullpen that you would think, as being the Renegades, you're like, yes, I got to the bullpen, but with how dominant this Mustangs bullpen has been, I mean, they're going to need to eat a lot of innings tonight, but I definitely, and I know Johnny Coy has the faith that even though Harrington only went 2+, able to get it done.
It is a bullpen that you can never be too confident with, and just because you got to them, I like what you said there, Truman. I mean, it is dominant as ever. I mean, the starters usually kind of give the alley-oop to this bullpen, but not so much today. A very unfamiliar face we've seen from Harrington, but this bullpen trying to do its justice, keeping this lead at 3.
As Connor Fleeg, the 9-hole, lays down a bunt. Tough play for Carter to make, but he's able to make it. As Fleeg advances, Toe and Miller now into scoring position with 1 out in the top of the lineup coming up here in PJ Green.
I mean, that was just a great sacrifice bunt there. I mean, no runners on third, but just a good job now, 1 out with PJ Green, who's had himself a good hit back in the first, drew the walk, just a guy you can really rely on for the Renegades.
Already 7 hits home here, just 2 1/3 innings in his. Green skies one down the left field line. Miller sets up for it, makes the grab. Throw coming to the plate, offline. And not in time, as another run will score. Tyler Toe crosses the plate for the 7th run of the night for the Renegades on the sac fly by PJ Green.
Green did exactly what he was asked to do, just put the ball deep into the outfield, got a good off speed, put it right up, and Miller made a nice throw to Griffith, just not in time, and now 7 runs for these Renegades.
Most runs the Mustangs have given up on a home game this season, as that pitch gets away from Griffith. Now Miller's only 90 feet away on the wild pitch. Carter last pitched on Monday in Nevada through a scoreless inning. Longest he's gone was his first outing back on May the 31st against Nevada, which he threw 3 scoreless innings. As now Ethan Milius gets hit by a pitch and he stays perfect on the night. Now he'll put runners at the corners for Lucas Weirtholder.
Just a completely two-face here from the Mustangs from their first couple of games we've seen in Phil Welch here. Just absolutely something we haven't seen. It's something that we're not really used to, but it's here. And, you know, in the game of baseball, nights like this are going to happen. And now the Mustangs are just looking to keep it at 4 runs and keep themselves in this ball game.
Weirtholder drove home a run with a single in the first and then walked in the second. Graduated from Father Tolton Catholic High School, Columbia, Missouri, a month ago. Is now looking to try and score the Renegades' 8th run of the game. Renegades have scored in each of these first 3 innings, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 so far home here in the third. All 8 charged to Aaron Harrington. And Harrington still responsible for Miller, who stands at third, as there goes Milius to second, but it won't matter as Weirtholder chases and strikes out swinging to end the third. But after the Mustangs put up 3 in the bottom of the second, the Renegades respond with 3 of their own. We're headed to the bottom of the third. Mustangs find themselves back down by 4 at 7-3 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Mustangs again trail by 4, 7-3. But we get our first trivia question of the night. It was a koozie giveaway here for the first 250 fans. So thought, might as well ask, what company first trademarked the term koozie in the early 1980s? Was it Frostguard USA, Radio Cap Corporation, Thermatech Industries, or Polar Sleeve Co.? First trademarked the koozie. Keeps your hand moisture-free when you're holding your drink of choice. As Braden Lukehart leads off the Mustang third, looking to keep pace with this Renegade offense, as Kyle Haynes gave up 3 runs in that second, as Lukehart on 1-1 grounds it right to Weitholder at short. And is retired for the first out here in the third.
Good swing put on by Lukehart, but an even better play made by Weitholder over at short. Tough play off the bounce. I mean, the last second bounce, but a nice throw made over for the first out.
So now it'll be Dom Felix, popped to Fleeg back in the first, 0 for 1 so far on his night. Felix in his last game was 2 for 3 with 2 doubles at Sedalia on Tuesday. Mustangs don't necessarily need all 4 back right here in this inning, but you'd at least like to see them keep chipping away. As they saw back in the second how much Haynes gets flustered when there are runners on base, and how much his command goes by the wayside. As Felix rips one to left, and that'll land for his first hit of the night for Dom Felix, and gives the Mustangs a 1-out base runner.
Beautiful swing from Felix. Just took the inside pitch over into left field, and a nice drive. Hopefully to try and get this Mustangs lineup just kind of rejuiced and trying to get some more base hits. Not even base hits, just trying to get them more comfortable at the plate.
Now it'll be Jack Mosh. Mosh struck out swinging to lead off the second, as the first 2 hitters in the second were retired for St. Joe. Before they got a hit, 2 walks, and a big 3-run scoring hit from Logan Miller. So now Mosh finds himself ahead 2-0. Mosh with one of the best eyes on the team. 4 different Mustangs have 10+ walks already here, 16 games. Now tonight, 17 games into the season. Very patient offense at the plate. As Mosh tattoos one deep center, back is Green, and he will not make the grab, and one hops the wall. Digging around third's Lukehart. He will score the G. Mosh is digging for third, and it's a 1-out RBI triple for Jack Mosh.
What a swing by Mosh. Over in center field, Green with a lot of speed, just couldn't do anything with it, as he's going to have to just watch that one and eat it. But Mosh, what a drive all the way. That is a deep center field, any part of the ballpark, left or right. That ball is out. And a nice swing by Mosh, plates home. 1 more for these Mustangs. A 1-out triple is exactly in the cards for these Mustangs.
First triple of the season for Jack Mosh. It's now the lead back to 3 for Jeff City, and it's Chris Coy, who with anything really but the strikeout or an infield pop-up can drive in another. Haynes falls behind Coy 2-0. Fell behind Mosh 2-0 and served him up a cookie. And Mosh did not miss. Let's see if he does the same thing here to Coy. Said he elects to miss the zone again, and now 3-0. Jackson, you mentioned the term two-face for Mustangs pitching. I mean, Kyle Haynes sure has two-faced here compared to the first 6 hitters of the ballgame compared to the last 6 hitters he's faced.
It really has. I mean, it's just been, this whole game has been fluctuating in both lineups and defense. I mean, we've seen some nice plays from both.
Fans had a lot of things to cheer for so far as Coy draws the 1-out walk, and it puts runners at the corners for St. Joe. For the catalyst of last inning's 3-run outburst, Trevor McCollum ripped a 2-out single into right. Eventually came home to score on the Logan Miller hit.
McCollum's looking to do the same thing. Two runners who's got some big speed. Anything into the outfield will score Mosh, but anything in the gap, McCoy's coming around to score. So he's looking to just do something smart here for these Mustangs.
McCoy also a guy who's 5 for 5, trying to attempt to steal bases. Wonder if he might try to swipe an extra 90 feet. The Mustangs are just so good at creating chaos on the base paths, winning those mind games. Between the lines, that one grounded over to short. Nice play by Weitholder over to first, not in time. Another run scores in Mosh as Chris Coy drives in one on the RBI fielder's choice.
Nice piece of hitting there. Put it on the opposite side, so allowing Mosh to come in a slow enough chopper, allowed Mosh to scamper on home now. Wanted to go for 2 to get the ending inning, but with the speed that McCollum's got, no chance is that going to happen. And now 2 runs played at home for these Mustangs.
Now it's Parker Griffith, who took a 4-pitch walk and came home to score. There goes to second McCollum. And he is in there safely as Trevor McCollum now swipes his 6th bag on the season and puts himself in scoring position. Griffith, 10 runs driven home, looking for his 11th. One of only 2 Mustangs hitters to put a ball out so far this season, and a home run right here would tie this game right back up. And we're only a third of the way through this game. That one instead chopped over and off the glove of Weitholder, but he recovers not in time, and the ball gets away from Vonderhaar and in to score easily is McCollum, and it's now a 1-run ball game yet again.
All you can ask for the Mustangs is making the Renegades make the mistakes in the field once again. That'll be the 3rd error on the night for them, and the Mustangs have taken advantage of every single one of those. So this is going to be a huge spot for Little to keep the inning going, but now 3 runs in back-to-back innings for these Mustangs has them down 1 once again.
The offenses have the pedal to the metal here tonight. Already 14 combined runs, just 2 2/3 innings into this game. As that was one of those Weitholder, was a plethora of errors. He booted the ground ball and then got nervous and rushed the throw. Would have been close. I think Griffith would have been safe even if he hadn't thrown it, but then Vonderhaar wasn't able to scoop it. It allows McCollum to score. So now the 9-hole Jaden Little walked his last time up and made it all the way around the bases. Three home already. Little looking to do some 2-out damage. Much like the Mustangs in the top half of this inning, Renegades bullpen is busy. Kyle Haynes trying to labor through and give the Renegades 3 innings as there goes Griffith. But Little takes a man's hack at a breaking ball. Fouls it straight back.
He wanted that one, I can tell. I mean, 3-1, got the green light. Griffith wanting to put a little hit and run situation on, but Little now a full count. It's got to be a little bit more protective.
A full count offering taken for ball 4. The Mustangs again with 2 outs. They continue to not be put away as now runners at first and second. Back for the top of the lineup in Logan Miller, who extended his hit streak to 10 games with a 3-run single last inning.
Just did a good job putting that ball in play, and he's looking to do the same thing here. Just be smart, find your pitch, do some damage.
That one called a strike on the outside corner, and a plethora of groans from this crowd. So they're wondering where that call was for Aaron Harrington. So now Miller down 0-2. Miller is a guy who came in with only 1 run batted in And with one swing, now has 4. Does lead this team now with 16 hits and 51 at-bats. As Haynes just looking to retire Miller, get himself out of this inning and keep his team with the lead. One-two to Miller. Upstairs, ball 2.
Another quality at-bat put on here by these Mustangs hitters. A 3-2 to Little. Miller's trying to do the same exact thing, or here on 2-2. Maybe see if Haynes one is gonna give him something.
He does give him something. It's a high chopper. Weitholder on the short hop, able to make the play and toss it over to Fleeg to retire the side. The Mustangs respond with 3 of their own here in the third, still find themselves trailing by 1. We're a third of this way through this game. Stay right with us. It's the Renegades lead 7-6. (7-6), Renegades lead your Mustangs, but man, is it a hot one tonight? The hottest game of the season up to date, 91. Currently still sunny, wind blowing out really for the first time we've seen. 8 o'clock, it'll drop down to 90, but it'll still be in the high 80s even when the sun goes down. So the Mustangs out there, no shirts on for batting practice today, but so far, temperature is hot. The bats are even hotter. It's Renegades 7 runs on 7 hits. Mustangs 6 runs on 4 hits. Each of these teams trying to pull away from the other, and so far to no avail as Caden Carter back out for his second inning of work. He'll get the 4, 5, 6 hitters. First, Alex DiGiacinto. He's 1 for 2. Drove home a run with a single back in the first.
Yeah, Carter, he came in a tough spot. I mean, he did his job correctly. I mean, he got the outs he needed and kept the runners on base.
That 1-1 pitch skied to center. Lukehart over, calls off Miller, and he'll make the grab for the first out.
Good play in center. Had to cover a lot of ground there. A nice pop fly put out by DiGiacinto. Just trailed enough, though, as either Miller or Lukehart was going to make that play. And a nice first out for Carter to get that confidence back up.
Now it's Drew Vonderhaar. Walked and scored his last time up. Has reached twice as he reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Vonderhaar so far has been able to get it down the plate, but so far in the field, has been unable to scoop a lot of important throws that might have saved a couple runs for the Renegades, but instead they've gotten past him and allowed Mustangs to take the extra 90 feet or score the extra run. As Carter quickly gets ahead of Vonderhaar 1 and 2. Teammates at Missouri Southern. Carter looking to get the best of Vonderhaar, and he does. Gets him to wave and miss at the changeup. Second strikeout for Carter, and it's quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth.
Exactly what the doctor ordered here for Caden Carter and the Mustangs. Coming into the 4th inning of work, all you really want and can ask for is to get those 2 quick outs right away. Just add that comfortability. You got to get these batters a little bit of wiggle room to work some counts and to be a little bit more aggressive than innings past. So a good job by Carter getting 2 straight.
Now it's Maddox Meyer. Singleton scored his last time up, 1 for 2. On his line. Much like the Mustangs, the Renegades have just been able to hit with 2 outs. It's been so tough for them to be retired. That 1-1, fastball high and away, now 2-1. Carter at Missouri Southern appeared in 13 games, 14 1/3 innings. Did have a 6.91 ERA, but opponents only batted 192 against him. It was really the walks that did him in. 9 walks compared to 10 strikeouts. But has shown good command up to this point this summer. That 3-1 to Meyer, fouls it off. We go full. Here to Maddox Meyer.
Beautiful payoff pitch there from Carter. Had him down 3-1 and just did not want to continue that same story of giving these Renegades free passes over to first. A good payoff pitch. Let's look to see what Carter gives him here. Might see it off speed on the inside.
Lexico fastball, Meyer right on it. But right there to make the grab is Trevor McCollum in the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for either side, courtesy of Caden Carter. He sets down the Renegades in order here in the 4th. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Mustangs are looking to at least tie it or take the lead as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. It's been an eventful opening frames in this game, but we're back with our trivia question. What company first trademarked the term koozie in the early 19 innings? It was St. Joseph Mustangs koozie giveaway here for the first 250 fans. Your options were Frostguard USA, Radio Cap Corporation, Thermatech Industries, or Polar Sleeve Co. And the answer was Radio Cap Corporation first trademarked the term koozie. Everyone's favorite drink sleeve, made of foam, durable, fits in your backpack, doesn't take up space, allows you to look stylish while holding your favorite drink. But talk about holding your favorite drink. This is definitely not the kind of pitching drink the Mustangs or the Renegades ordered tonight. Offenses have been absolutely sweet, but the pitching has been quite bitter. As the Renegades go to the bullpen with their first call to the bullpen, it'll be Luke Eastman. Eastman making his first appearance of the summer. Originally a Columbia, Missouri native, Southwestern Community College commit. As he gets the 2-3-4 hitters, Darius Freeman, Braden Lukehart, And Dom Felix here in the fourth, looking to replicate what Caden Carter did in the top half of this inning, shutting down the Renegades offense, trying to preserve this one-run advantage.
Trying to quiet these Mustangs down. They've been kind of hot in the last 2 innings. They've been 3 in both innings in these last 2, so looking to continue that dominance.
Freeman 0 for 2. We reached on an error his first time up and then grounded to second in the second as that one grounded over to Vonderhaar, who's able to control this one. And he'll take it himself, and it'll be an unassisted 3. And it's now Freeman 0 for 3 on the night.
Good swing, just couldn't get a lot of velocity coming off the bat. But a good start of the inning. Just we're looking to get contact on that ball is all the Mustangs can really ask for.
Now it's Braden Lukehart, 0 for 2 as well. Fly to center and grounded to second. That first pitch makes it about 57 of the required 60 feet 6 inches to the plate for ball 1. Lukehart also had a 6-game hit streak of his own broken last night against the North Missouri Naturals. He was 0 for 4, did drive in a run on a sac fly. Was not able to extend that streak to 7. Now he's quickly ahead 3-0. Lukehart has drawn 13 walks, second on the team. He's also stolen 8 bases, which leads the Mink, and he draws a 4-pitch walk and now has a chance to steal his Mink leading 9th stolen base and get into scoring position for the heart and the meat of this Mustangs order.
It's exactly what you want. Get an early runner into scoring position with guys like Felix and Mosh who know how to drive that ball out. Mustangs still looking to wreak chaos on those base paths.
Dom Felix continues to swing it well. He singled and came around to score in that 3-run third. See, now has 5 hits in his last 10 trips to the dish. He takes a healthy cut. Now finds himself down 0-2. Eastman will look to do something Haynes wasn't able to do, the starter for Jeff City, pitch with runners on base. And it's a quick 3-pitch strikeout. Felix just out in front of that one. Now 2 hits in the inning for Jack Mosh.
Felix swinging on all 3, really wanted it. Just a good job there. And nice pitchings by Eastman. I mean, he really didn't have too much velocity, which I think that's what Felix was expecting. Just could not get a hand on any of those.
That'll be Jack Mosh, who ripped an RBI triple to deep center field his last time up. And he's looking for another cookie right here. Eastman not pumping it in there. Only about in the low 80s. Definitely teeing off speed from the southpaw. I'm sure that's what Felix told Mosh when they crossed paths, that Eastman's speed is not as fast as they think it is standing on that on-deck circle. Felix was out in front of all 3 pitches he swung at. Was sent back to the dugout. Yet to see Lukehart try and take off. Yet to see a move from Easton. There's a quick pitch. So obviously Eastman's still thinking about Lukehart over at first, but now McCollum has gotten the count way in his favor at 3-1. A guy you don't want to try and test the edges of the zone, as he has a team-leading 15 walks on the season, but that pitch high and inside, Mosh was trying to rip it down the right field line. Instead, swings through it, now full count. Full count offering. That one crushed down the right field line and out of the stadium, but about 50 feet foul, so that's one of those that you just admire. And then dig back into the box and get ready again, but if you're Eastman, you don't want to throw Mosh that pitch again, as he was on that one.
Not at all. All over it. Kept it inside. Put a deep drive, and that thing is gone if it is fair.
Full count offering again. Upstairs, ball 4, and walk number 16 on the season for Mosh, and his first one of the game, second one of the inning for Eastman. Now it's runners at first and second for Chris Coy.
Kid who might be young, but he definitely has matured a lot throughout this season with runners in scoring position. Just looking to put a good ball in play. Keep it away from an easy out in the infield with 2 outs.
Coy so far yet without a hit, but has reached base as he walked last inning. 0 for 1 on his line so far tonight. He was 2 for 4 with a run against Jeff City the first go around. With the speed that Luke Hart possesses out on second, a single to the outfield should easily score him, especially with 2 outs and both runners going on contact. Easton has lost Coy now 3-0 and has to climb his way all the way back. It's a 4-pitch walk. And now once again the bases are all juiced up. This time for Trevor McCollum.
The discipline I've seen from these Mustangs hitters this inning with 2 outs on the board, they just look comfortable as ever, and that is what you want at a ball club, and especially now multiple runners in scoring position and the bases loaded for McCollum. A big spot here, down 1.
Second walk of the game by Coy, 8th of the season, but it brings up Trevor McCollum. He's 1 for 2. He's reached base both of his times. Ripped an RBI. Fielder's choice his last time up. It's also singled and came around to score. Looking to potentially give the Mustangs their first lead of the night with a ball into the outfield as Jack Mosh is getting a big lead over there at second, and there is the ball into the outfield. Easily scoring Luke Hart. Here comes Mosh, no throw, and the Mustangs lead 8-7 on the 2-run single by Trevor McCollum.
Another ball sharply hit from this Mustangs. This one through the third base gap into left field, and the speed that Mosh possesses on second. A tough hustle that he has to make on over, but he does easily, scoring. And a 2 RBI single as big as they come for McCollum.
Third RBI of the night for McCollum, 10th on the season, and the Mustangs now lead for the first time at 8-7. Now it's Parker Griffith. He's also reached base twice. First time was on a walk. Second time was on an error. Easton has him down in the count now 0-2. The 0-2, both runners take off. No throw, and it's a double steal, works to perfection. As now Chris Coy and Trevor McCollum both move into scoring position.
Now Griffith, an even bigger spot now. A single likely scores both.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2. The 6th stolen base for Coy, as well as McCollum. Coy still yet to be caught. That one upstairs, now 3-2. Northwest Missouri Bearcat kid and Parker Griffith. Full count, fouled away. Looking to extend this Mustangs lead and put up yet again double-digit runs. Said he takes his second walk of the night, and for the second time this inning, the bases are loaded. This time it'll be for the number 9 hitter, Jaden Little.
4th walk on the inning so far here for the Mustangs. Discipline, discipline, discipline is all you can preach right now in these types of situations. We'll get a mound visit here to early and only inning for Eastman so far, and it's definitely been a rough one. Just trying to keep it at 2 runs now, and the Mustangs are looking for their back-to-back-to-back innings, trying to get 3+ in said inning.
This is the most runs that, well, Jeff City has scored against St. Joe since Game 1 of the 2023 Mink League Championship, but that'll do it for Eastman He's getting up 2 runs so far in 2/3 of an inning, but we'll step aside as he's responsible. Bases are still loaded. Jaden Little coming up next. Two already home in the inning, and the second pitcher out of the bullpen in this inning for Jeff City will be Connor Head, making his 4th appearance of the summer. Hopefully he brought his fire extinguisher with him. For Jeff City, it's 2 already home for the Mustangs, and the bases are still full. It's been 4 walks and a single. Head's last time out was back on June the 15th. He gave up 2 runs in an inning against Chillicothe. He took the loss in that game as he gets the 9-hole. Jaden Little's that first pitch gets away from the catcher Miller. In to score is Coy, and it's now 9-7 St. Joe.
Just a freebie. Give it to the Mustangs with 2 outs is definitely not what you wanted to do there. You need to put that ball in play, but instead, the first pitch off of Head is a wild one, and it'll score Coy from third.
That run will be charged to Eastman. 3rd home in the inning. This is already the 12th time the Mustangs in 17 games have scored 8+ runs. Looking for their 10th game with another run of scoring 10+ runs. Just been night in and night out. We've been accustomed to this offense putting up double-digit runs and giving their pitchers plenty of run support. But tonight, they had to play from behind, and it didn't matter. Two 1 to Little. 2 inside, now 3-1. With the leadoff hitter and the red-hot Logan Miller on deck. 3-1 from Head. Inside again, and for the 3rd time this inning, the bases remain loaded on the 5th walk of the inning, issued by Renegade, pitching first by Head. Now the Mustangs have batted around as is Logan Miller, stepping back into that right-hand batter's box.
Miller, 3 RBI single back in the 2nd, looking to do the same thing. Stay consistent, stay hot. We've been talking about him. We've been hyping him up a lot, but he has the bat to show for it, and he has been one of the more productive players on this Mustangs lineup. Couple nights off last week, but just looking to be a player here and continue his outrageous night.
That hit back in the second extended his hit streak to 10 games, and he'll drive in another run on the hit by pitch as it's now 10-7 Mustangs as Trevor McCollum crosses the plate.
Just there you go, another one gifted to the Mustangs. A wild pitch for Coy and a hit by pitch issued to Miller. But with Darius Freeman up, who has some pop in that bat, looking to continue it. But 4 easy runs for these Mustangs so far this inning.
Freeman's hit it hard 3 times. He grounded out to Vonderhaar to start this inning, and that one line into right past the diving glove of Fleeg. Into scores Griffith. Here comes Little to the plate. He's home, and it's now 12-7. A 6 spot in the 4th for St. Joe.
Darius Freeman, last year's Mustangs MVP, shown why now. First hit on the night, but it is a big one. 2 RBI double for him, and what an at-bat from Freeman. First pitch, saw what he liked, and what an at-bat, Truman. What at-bats we've seen in this inning from these Mustangs. So composed, so confident coming out of the bullpen, and it almost seems like these Renegades just have not been able to find their foot after giving up that starting pitcher.
Back-to-back 12-run outbursts. That one line to center. In comes Green, and he makes the grab right on top of the grass to end the inning, but not before the Mustangs put up 6. And now came into the inning down by 1. They leave the inning up by 5. What an offensive showing here tonight from the Mustangs. We're headed to the 5th. 12-7, St. Joe. Top 5 here, Mustangs now lead 12-7. We can look at around the Mink. The other games here tonight. Carroll is at Nevada, playing a doubleheader after a makeup game that was originally scheduled for June the 18th. Nevada won game 1 4-3 and currently leads 3-1. We also have our game 12-7, and then Sedalia is playing against Clorinda here tonight. Plenty of Mink League action. But here at Phil Welch, this Mink League matchup has been a treat. Offenses have come out swinging, and it's been the Mustangs who have responded with 9 unanswered runs to now take a commanding 12-7 lead as Caden Carter has come in for Aaron Harrington and been absolutely nails. Does get the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9, Tyler Toe, Ben Miller, and Connor Fleeg. As Toe, 1 for 2, he ripped a single and came around to score back in the 3rd. Now Carter has lost him 3-0 to start this AB. That one clips the outside corner, now 3-1. Toe out of Rockbridge High School in Columbia, Missouri, takes a 5-pitch walk. gives the Renegades a leadoff base runner here in the 5th.
Good at bat from Toe. Just really wanted to stay consistent, and a good at bat to start off the inning. I mean, it was Doors back 1-2-3 inning last inning. He just wanted to change the script a little bit for the Renegades, try and get them back on their horses, and just trying to attack after this Mustangs pitching staff.
So now it'll be Ben Miller. He takes a strike, ripped a 2-run single his last time up. 1 for 2 is the first walk issued by Carter here tonight. That one sky to right. Over to his left is McCollum. Makes the catch about 10 feet in front of the warning track for the first out.
Good pitch there from Carter. He just wanted to keep it in the wheelhouse, but not enough to get a good contact on it. Just a good spot there by McCollum and right. Got a good read on it. Was right there to make the play.
Now the 9-hole hitter, Connor Fleeg, laid down a sacrifice bunt. His last time up has also walked. This was not registered an official at-bat yet here tonight. Fleeg plays his ball down in Springfield, Missouri at Drury University. Hit .350. Only got 20 ABs in 26 games. He was 7 for 20. Did have a pair of RBIs, but all 7 of those hits were singles. Originally out of St. Louis. Thought about maybe trying to lay one down again, catch this Mustang defense sleeping. The ball was in the dirt, now 1-1. Renegades looking to respond. Mustangs have now taken a 5-run lead. So Renegades offense has cooled off a bit off the arm of Carter. They're looking to get back in this one. This is the most combined runs we've seen since these two teams, their first matchup all the way back in 2023 when the Renegades won 17-7. 24 combined runs then, 19 here tonight, and still plenty of time for more. This has been a bit of a rivalry that's been brewing between these two teams, maybe not geographically in terms of being right next to each other, but Mustangs won their 9th Mink League title last year. Renegades got their first in 2023, and they beat St. Joe in a tough, grueling 3-game, took all 3 games of that best-of-3 series, and had it not been for that win by the Renegades, Mustangs would be riding a 5 consecutive year Mink League championship streak instead of just 4 out of 5, as the Renegades won in 2019. There was no baseball played in the summer of 2020 when the world flipped upside down. And the Mustangs won it back-to-back in 21 and 22. Renegades finally got them in 23, and then Mustangs again won in 24, and it was a perfect 4-0 record for the Mustangs against the Renegades. And really none of them were close. They were scores of 3-2, 3-0, 11-2, and 5-0. But here tonight, the Renegades have come to play. One-two from Carter upstairs.
Just like you mentioned, Truman, just the rivalry has been brewing the last couple of years between these two teams. Both have what it takes to come away with the Mink League championship at the end of the year. But it does come through Phil Welch, nonetheless. And back in 2023, the Renegades just got the best of the Mustangs.
Now Fleeg has been able to work the count back full after finding himself down 3-1 and 2. And that one upstairs, and it's a 1-out walk. Second walk of the inning issued by Carter. Now puts runners on first and second for the top of this Renegade order.
It was close, up in the zone. He was really wanting to get that one called, especially with the top of the order coming up and the runner in scoring position, just trying to keep this lead at 5. Carter in a good spot, though. Double play, still on the cards. Just really's got to trust himself. Just throw some strikes. Give your defense an opportunity.
Tried to get too cute with Fleeg. Ended up walking him as it's now the leadoff hitter, PJ Green. 0 for 1. He drove home a run on a sac fly his last time up. He's also walked and grounded out to Mosh. He was 1 for 3 with a run and a walk in that first meeting this season. Batted in the 7 hole, now in the leadoff spot. Going to cut into this Renegade deficit. That one line to center. Back goes Luke Hart a bit, and he makes the over-the-shoulder grab. Tagging and heading to third will be Toe. Well, there's now 2 outs in the inning for Ethan Milius.
You know, just a good swing by Green. Got the high fives from the team. Got a little frustrated, said looked like he wanted to get it over that wall, but good swing nonetheless. A nice sacrifice out into center field. A deep one for Luke Hart to deal with, but an easy advance for Toe. And now runner just 90 feet away from scoring for the Renegades.
Milius has been the hottest Renegade hitter tonight. 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a hit by pitch. Looking to at least drive home 1 with his 3rd hit of the evening and cut this lead down to 4. Milius was 3 for 4 in his last start against Chillicothe. That one off the end of the bat. Felix cuts it off. Will go the short way to Mosh and gets it in time. Great play by Dom Felix. Retires the side and keeps the Renegades scoreless. 1 left on 2 walks. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. Your Mustangs still lead 12-7. Dom Felix leads off the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 5th, looking to build on their 12-7 lead as he rips one right to Weitholder, who falls down and is still able to make the play. Cheers from not only Renegades fans in the crowd, but also the Mustangs tip their cap as Weitholder got eaten up by the sniper out there at shortstop, but is still able to retire Dom Felix for the first out.
Just what a play made by Weitholder, just sticking with it. I mean, even giving up himself for the play, that is just one heck of a throw off the ground to make. An impressive out number 1.
That'll be Jack Mosh, 1 for 2. Ripped an RBI triple and also drew a walk, has scored a pair of runs. That triple extended his hit streak to 10 games to join Logan Miller, tied on the longest hit streaks on this Mustang team, as Connor Head back out to work in his 2nd inning of work. Took him a while, but he was able to retire the side in the bottom of the 4th. As that one again grounded the Weitholder. This time he doesn't fall down. Instead makes a nice running play. 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
Just good play there by Weitholder. Got the good hop that he was wanting out of the grass and just had to stick with it and made a nice throw once again. Really quality shortstop. He has the good footwork, has the good arm mechanics. He just is a quality shortstop to have.
That'll be Chris Coy. He's drawn 2 walks and scored a run in his evening tonight. That 0-1 popped into the infield, head off the mound. Able to make the grab, and the Mustangs go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. Coming in the bottom of the 5th. Quick inning of work for Connor Head. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters for the Renegades in the top of the 6th. Still down, 12-7. Sam Pitts, who we've usually seen in the starting role, comes out of the bullpen. Here takes over for Caden Carter, who was brilliant in 3 innings, did not give up any runs, and it was just what Johnny Coy ordered. So he now gives way for Pitts, who in his 1 start this season did go 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, struck out 5, and was able to have a bounce-back start in his 2nd start, in which he only gave up 1 run in 5 innings, got the win against the Sedalia Bombers. Back on June the 14th. So he gets the middle of this Renegade order, who've gotten donuts put up on the board these past 2 innings. Lucas Weitholder, 1 for 2. RBI single in the 1st, and then he walked and struck out his last 2 trips to the dish.
Pitts coming in here just with a 5-run lead, a good amount coming out of the pen, just looking to continue the dominance the bullpen has had. Go back to his mechanics, a rough couple of innings that he has seen this season, but just looking to get a bounce back. This isn't a start, this is just a chance to get a fresh look.
And his first batter, a nasty changeup, gets Weitholder swinging. That's a quick 3-pitch K for Pitts, as Pitts did appear in 11 games for Cochise Community College, started 8 of those. He was 2-0 in 24 2/3 innings. At a 4.74 ERA. Long ball bit him in his first start, but then again, he was able to keep the ball in the yard and limit the Bombers to just 1 run. Now his first Renegade hitter goes down swinging as there's a swing and a miss from Alex DiGiacinto from Missouri S&T, born north of the border in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Related to Lindenwood University women's lacrosse player Alyssa DiGiacinto. So far 1 for 3 on his night. He's also have an RBI single, is now quickly 0-2.
Really good payoff pitches I'd like to see here from Pitts. Another 2-strike count, looking to fan back-to-back batters in his big arsenal of pitch types.
0-2 from Pitts, cut on and fouled. There goes the chance at the immaculate inning. Did you see that last night? Yoshinobu Yamamoto of the Los Angeles Dodgers should have had an immaculate inning himself, but the 9th strike right down the middle was called for a ball.
I did not see that. That is an awful way to lose the immaculate inning. Jeez.
Now that one just misses.
Just misses. That was a good pitch on the paint. Zone has been a little bit more wide for these right-handed hitters, I've noticed from this game with this umpire. It's a little bit more leeway.
That 1-2 in the dirt. DiGiacinto stays alive now, 2-2. He only had 43 at-bats in 21 games for S&T. Hit 209. It's only 9 hits. 2 of those hits were doubles, and 1 was a homer. He also drove in 10, so 33% of his hits were extra base hits. But right here, he's down 2-2. As that breaking ball pops straight up in the air behind short into the twilight sky. Coy calls for it, and he makes the grab to retire DiGiacinto.
Tough play to making those lights, and a good job by Coy. Just getting a glove on it. I mean, he kind of came down near his waist side with the glove, but watching it all the way into those lights is one of the hardest things to do. And in shallow left field, coming in all the way. But a nice play by McCoy.
Now Drew Vonderhaar 0 for 2 on his line, but has reached base twice via fielder's choice and a walk. He's also made a couple errors over at first. Now that breaking ball runs too far inside and almost clips Vonderhaar on his back foot. As it puts him in the driver's seat, now up 2-0. That fastball clips the outside corner. Pitt's a starter usually, and he's one of those starters that does not work out of a windup. Prefers to go full time out of the stretch. He's still able to get his whole body involved and get all that force down the mound, as now he responds with a pair of painted fastballs on opposite corners. Even the count at 2-2.
Close call there. Vanderhaar didn't really like it. Had to give a little time, called to the blue, and a little bit of a courtesy check, saying, hey, that's your inside, and sure isn't. 2-2 count to Vanderhaar.
The 2-2 offering. Chop to third. Felix has it just in front of the grass, running, and makes a nice throw over to Jaden Little, retire Vonderhaar. 1-2-3 go the Renegades, and Sam Pitts his first inning out of the pen. And he preserves the 5-run lead for the Mustangs. It'll be the bottom of the order. McCollum, Griffith, and Little due up in the bottom of the 6th. So get a look at the Mink League standings here coming into the night. Mustangs are right now pacing the Mink League 14-2 and 8-1 in the Mink. Clarinda still in second though, game and a half back, 11-6 and then 9-3 in the Mink. That's a big old log jam. Jeff City 9-8, 7-8. Then it's Chillicothe at 6-6 and 5-6 in the Mink. Nevada 6-8 in the Mink. Carroll 5-9, and then Sedalia 4-10. So still only here week 4 of this 2025 Mink League season. Those playoff spots are still up for grabs. Again, only 6 teams make the playoffs. 1 game wild card as the top 2 teams get byes. 1 game wild card and then 1 game divisional and then a best of 3 championship series. That's still, I mean, seems like a while away, but late July as it's Trevor McCollum who leads off. He had a 2-run single his last time up. And then he came around to score himself. He's driven in 3 tonight, 2 for 3. Looking for his 3rd hit of the evening.
I was having a heck of a game. 2 hits, 3 runs for him. As dominant as they come.
But he takes one on the outside corner. Nice breaking ball from Connor Head. Second strikeout from Head, and McCollum is the first out here in the 6th.
Just couldn't get a hold of that breaking ball. Watched out of the hands. Kind of second-guessed himself, kind of gave himself a shrug, but nothing you can really do on that. Just a nice pitch.
Now it'll be the catcher, Parker Griffith. 0 for 1 with a run driven in. He's worked 2 walks, and it's really been this bottom of the order that has come through for the Mustangs. They've scored 7 of these 12 runs. They've worked 4 walks combined. These 7-8 Niners have yet to be retired as Griffith was the only one. He reached on air, but combination of him, McCollum, and McCollum just struck out. First time this bottom of the order has been retired, but outside of that, it's what you like to see out of your 7-8 9 hitters if you're Johnny Coy.
We've talked about that this bottom of the order, Coy really orchestrates a great opera here in the bottom half.
Griffith spits on that breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2. He was a guy who didn't get many opportunities last summer, just 12 at-bats, and only played in 4 games. And tonight, he's playing in his 12th game, so already at a 300% increase in terms of production and opportunities for the Northwest Missouri State Bearcat. His Head tried to drop in that same breaking ball he froze McCollum with. But again, Griffith spits on it. Now the count goes full. Head worked the first 1-2-3 inning for Renegades pitching last inning. And this is a Renegades pitching staff that's been hot. They no-hit Nevada on Monday. Score was 5-0, but tonight been a complete 180 as Griffith works his 3rd walk of the evening.
Just one of the most disciplined hitters on this lineup. Worked that one all the way to 3-2. Had 3-0 last time, but he got himself up to a nice full count. Did a good job up near his head, so he really didn't have to think too much on it, but a good at-bat nonetheless.
So now Jaden Little has drawn 3 walks himself and has also scored 2 runs. He's first pitch hunting, but fouls it back. Little 5 for 10 in his nice little 3-game hit streak, looking to extend that. Has extended his on-base streak, but it's always nice to continue that hit streak. He was 3 for 4 last night with a double, an RBI, and a walk. For back-to-back nights, Mustangs offense has put up a dozen runs. Griffith at first. As shown, he's willing to go time to time when the opportunity arises. That one drilled to left field, but right there to make the grab is Toe, as he had Little played beautifully, as Griffith having to hustle back to second, as he, like much of this Phil Welch fans here filling these seats, thought that ball was over the head of Toe, but it had too much topspin on it. Not enough backspin, as it'll just go down as an L7 for the second out.
It's just a good swing. I love the sound of that ball. I mean, he got all of it. Just like you said, just got a little bit too much on top. If he would have gotten a little bit more under that ball with that same type of swing, we could see that ball over the wall. But a good swing, can't be too mad at that one.
Now it'll be the leadoff hitter, Logan Miller, who came into tonight with just 1 RBI and already has 4 to his name. 1 for 3, a 3-run single back in the second, which seems like eons ago, and then he was hit by a pitch and it drove in a run in the 4th. So now Miller ahead of head here, 2-0.
Good at bat so far from Miller. You want to stay ahead in these types of situations with Griffith on first. Keep the line moving for these Mustangs.
We've seen plenty of 2-out magic tonight from Mustangs hitters, as Miller thought he was getting a fastball right down the middle with that swing. Instead, it was low and away, and he was way out in front. So that's the problem, is free passes of the Mustangs will hurt you, but also not being able to command your pitches and hit your spots. It's where also the Mustangs will hurt you when you get behind in counts as an opposing pitcher and you're forced to come to these Mustangs. They are ready, just waiting to be unleashed. Miller able to stay alive, able to wait back just enough on that breaking ball and foul it straight back. Keeps the count at 2 apiece.
Griffith, you know, who's been a sleeper base runner this season for these Mustangs, was off and going. Wanted to see if Miller might have been able to poke something out into the outfield. Maybe Griffith could end up on third. But still 2-2.
Another 2-2 to Miller. Swung on and missed. So Miller goes down swinging. 1 runner left on the walk in Griffith, but no runs across. We're 2/3 of the way through this Mink League matchup. Your Mustangs still lead the Renegades 12-7 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Top 7, 12-7 Mustangs still lead, as it's, it's always a nice time, never too early to start, maybe getting a gauge for award winners come the end of the season. So far, candidates for Player of the Year, Drake Cobb of Clarinda hitting a whopping .560, has 28 hits, 5 doubles and a triple, has also driven in 15 and also worked 15 walks. It's really Clarinda. They showed this past Sunday that they are the team that will contend here with St. Joe. I mean, you also got Bradley Hanlon and Aveda hitting .462. And Cobb's teammate Brady Dobson hitting .400. And then when you're talking about the other side, pitcher of the year, I mean, it was Aaron Harrington coming into the night, but after a very, very rough outing. Might have to rethink that, but teammate Jaren Guck has been absolutely fantastic. And then Noah Benavides, who won Pitcher of the Week this past week in the Mink League, also up there. It's one of those things, always keeping tabs and seeing who might sneak in for those awards come the end of the season. Is 6, 7, 8 for the Renegades here in the 7th. Maddox Meyer against Sam Pitts, who's out for his 2nd inning of work. That one hard on the ground. Decoy and off the glove, trying to go with the backhand. And Meyer will reach on the leadoff E6.
Tough play. I mean, that thing was shot off the bat, and Coy had a tough judge to make. Just really tough, and a nice hit. Good, good bad velocity from Meyer to put it on the ground, but that dirt has really been giving these infielders some troubles tonight.
Meyer reaches for the 2nd time, this one via the air. That ball was just gliding across the ground, just hit that lip. As Coy was able to respond as that one flared out to left, but right at Miller. And Toe will be retired. 2nd time he's flown out to Miller tonight, and it's the 1st out. So Renegades down to their final 8 outs.
Good pitch. I mean, it was a good payoff after the single, and just kind of jammed him inside and kind of put it out. An easy play for Miller. Big 1st out for Pitts after giving up that single, just trying to keep it a short lead.
Now it'll be Ben Miller. 1 for 3 tonight, also has driven in 2. 2025 Helias Catholic High School graduate in Jeff City, Missouri. One of the 3 high schools in Jeff City. Between that, Jeff City High School, and then Capital City. Committed to Missouri Southern to play his college ball and to take his talents. First time he's facing Pitts tonight. He quickly finds himself down 0-2.
Double play ball still here, so we'll see if Pitts wants to keep it in that bottom half of the zone, maybe give Coy another chance at short. Turn that 6-4. Likely to see. I want to see if he wants to attack that inside half more often here on this at-bat.
The 0-2 go, the runner going, and Little dropped the ball. Meyer was off on first movement. Pitts went to first, but Jaden Little was already looking down to 2nd before he caught that ball and just drops it. So Meyer will move up on the stolen base and into scoring position. So Renegades have been shut out that 2nd third of tonight's game after putting up 7 in the first 3 innings. Gone down with a whimper these last 3. So now that one skied behind first base, but foul.
Just what an unfortunate situation that was. Pitts had a good pickoff move, but you really got to give respect to Meyer, who wanted to go on that first step no matter where it was going, and that nice speed. Gave Little a hard time at first to get it out of the hands.
It's the 0-2 from Pitts. Another breaking ball in the dirt, and this one's going to hit the top of the foot of Miller. It's an unfortunate string of events there as Pitts had Miller down 0-2, but then he plunks him on the back foot breaker. And now puts 2 runners on for Connor Fleeg in the 9-hole. Fleeg has yet to register an official at bat. He's drawn 2 walks and laid down a sacrifice bunt. Productive night nonetheless. He thought about maybe laying down another sacrifice. Instead takes a fastball in the corner.
You like having that guy in that 9-hole kind of near the bottom half who is confident laying down those bunts, and especially in 1-out situations like this, just trying to at least move these runners up 90 feet with multiple guys on, and that's exactly what he did. Back in the 3rd, looking to try and get something productive here.
There goes Meyer for 3rd. Throw down, not in time. So Max Meyer with his 2nd stolen base of the inning. Now it's just 90 feet away.
Meyer looks as confident as ever here on Pitts. He's got that delivery timed up so well. That good first jump gave him a nice, easy stretch. And Griffith had a nice throw down to Felix, but just couldn't get the tag on. And now runners on the corners.
Pitts does have Fleeg down 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Gets Fleeg to chase with the fastball outside. Second strikeout for Pitts and the second out here in the 7th.
Beautiful payoff pitch. Had him down 0-2, like you mentioned, Truman, the exact situation after the stolen base. And that brings up 2 outs, but back to the top half of the order, and the Renegades just trying to chip back at this 5-run lead any way they can in the last 3 innings.
It is a guy who's hit it hard several times. Here tonight, P.J. Green, the University of Missouri attendee. He's yet to get a hit, but he's 0 for 2. He's walked and scored a run and also drove home a run on a sacrifice fly. Green fouls one straight back, now 1-1 the count. Green did not have any official at-bats this past spring at Mizzou. Instead, he pitched in 26 1/3 innings. But still talking that he wants to be a two-way player, and Mizzou offers him the best chance at doing that. Definitely possesses all the traits of a good center fielder, plus speed, plus arm. Great catching, and has good traits at the plate as well, as that one popped to center. Lukehart to his left and makes the grab and ends the threat here in the 7th. 4th straight 0 tossed up by Mustangs pitching. Headed to the bottom of the 7th here at Phil Welch. Your Mustangs continue to lead the Renegades 12-7. Darius Freeman gets the Mustangs started here in the bottom of the 7th. Mustangs offense has gone quietly the past 2 innings, but that 6-run 4th inning is how we got to our score at 12-7 right now. Freeman 1 for 4, 2 RBI single his last time up in the 4th. Against Connor Head. Head back out for his 3rd inning of work. And has been able to keep this score right where it is, but so far the Renegades offense itself has been very quiet and unable to chip into this 5-run deficit that they face.
A different story between both of these teams from the start to the finish. I mean, Both started pretty hot in the first 4 and then kind of, like you said, just really quiet so far.
Freeman out of Kansas City, Kansas, Central Methodist University attendee. This past spring in 50 games, he hit .354 with 10 doubles, a triple, and 7 homers and 36 RBIs. And off to a very nice start to this summer, looking to replicate his all-Mink first-team selection from a year ago when he hit .327 with 48 hits. As he chases that 3-2 changeup in the dirt, goes down swinging. 4th strikeout for Head. And first of the night for Freeman.
He just really wanted those full count, and he was just looking to get a nice piece on the wood, and that swing was looking like he wanted extra bases. Just didn't work out.
Now it's the 3-hole, Braden Lukart. Lukart 0 for 3, but has walked and scored a run. PJ Green robbed him of what would have been a 2 RBI single his last time up in the 4th. On a nice running grab, snatching the ball right off the tips of the blades of grass out there in center. Nice breeze still flowing through the stadium. From right field to left field, out a little bit. One of the first games we've seen here at Phil Welch this summer where there has been a steady breeze.
Hasn't helped too much with this heat, but we'll take what we can get.
Lukart, homegrown kid, attends Missouri Southern. That one ripped to left field. Back is Toe, and he will make the grab. It's another hard hit ball off a Mustang bat, but right at an outfielder. So now there are 2 quick outs here in the 7th.
Good swing by Lukart. Sounded really good off the bat. Took the outside pitch right where he wanted it to go, and it just held up just enough for Tao out and left. And a lot of good pitches have been hit out into that outfield for both these squads.
It's now the cleanup, old reliable Dom Felix. Felix 1 for 4 tonight. Felix, this last time these 2 teams faced, he was 2 for 3 with 2 walks. He's yet to walk tonight, but has scored a run as he cuts and fouls one back and now finds himself down 1-2. Originally out from Tucson, Arizona. Attends Emporia State University. Like Freeman, coming off an all-Mink first-team selection last summer. He swung a hot bat in the spring, hit .291 as that one cut on and missed. 2 strikeouts in the inning from Connor Head, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Renegades are down to their final 6 outs. So your Mustangs still lead here 12-7 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Fourth pitcher of the night for your Mustangs, it's Diego de Santiago, the flame-throwing righty making his 7th appearance. So far, pitched 7 innings this summer, has yet to give up a run, has yet to even give up a hit. The only base runner he has allowed is 1 walk, and he has 11 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. And this is a guy, when he comes out of the bullpen, as an opponent, you know you are thoroughly cooked.
Yeah, Santiago really knows how to throw that gas, and he is the most velocity on this team. He really has a good delivery, and just is one of the best pitchers to come out of this pen, and just a guy that these Mustangs can continue to rely on.
Now we take a look at Mustangs' future schedules. Tomorrow night finishes up Week 4 homestand against the Carroll Merchants at 7 p.m. here at Phil Welch, and then Sunday they actually travel out to Carroll, play a 4 o'clock first pitch against them, and then Monday in Jeff City against these Renegades, and then they play Chillicothe, a doubleheader after last Wednesday's game got rained out. Doubleheader on the 23rd, first one beginning at 6:05. Those will be a pair of 7-inning games for your Mustangs before they're back home Wednesday through next Saturday. Right now, de Santiago just trying to do what he's done all year. Mow down hitters and keep this score right where it is. He does get the 2-3-4 hitters for Jeff City. Ethan Milius, who is 2 for 3 on the night with a 2-run single back in the second. De Santiago is the 4th arm out of the Mustangs pen. Takes over for Sam Pitts, who threw 2 shutout innings. He quickly has Milius down 1 and 2. De Santiago is not a one-trick pony. He has that flame-throwing fastball, but he also has a nice breaking ball to complement it.
You know, he's known for throwing that gas, like you mentioned, but that arsenal really knows how to trick some of these hitters up as they're expecting fastball, but he comes out with a nice breaking ball to fool them.
2-2 offering, straight on the breaking ball, just past the bat of Milius. 12th strikeout of the season for de Santiago. And the first time Milius has gone down swinging tonight.
Just right back to it. That breaking ball is just so nasty, that slider coming out of the hand. You just can't see it if you're trying to guess fastball, and Santiago is just one of the best at mixing those up.
Now Lucas Weitholder, 1 for 3. RBI double. He's also walked, but last 2 trips he struck out swinging. Looking to avoid the trifecta. For just joining us, I'm Truman Griesel. Alongside me tonight, Jackson Phelps. It was Jeff City who got out to a quick 4-0 lead. Mustangs responded with 3 in the bottom of the second, but then Jeff City responded with 3 in the top of the third. It seemed like the Renegades were really going to give them a run for their money, as Aaron Harrington was not his sharpest tonight, but this Mustangs bullpen, the combination of Caden Carter, Sam Pitts, now Diego de Santiago, has silenced these Renegades bats and allowed the Mustangs bats to come to life. The Mustangs have scored 9 unanswered runs. It was 3 in the second, 3 in the third, and then 6 in the fourth. That's where we stand at right now. 1-2 from de Santiago. High chopper. Felix backs up on it. Makes a nice strong throw over to little retire Weitholder.
Just a beautiful play by Felix. Got the feet set, made a nice throw. And just back to what you said, Truman, just this bullpen becoming the catalyst and continuing to do that. You know, the last couple of days it was the bats getting out to big leads and not allowing these teams to come back. But it really proves that this bullpen is so strong. After a tough 7 runs, has been 0 unanswered, and 9 runs just allows those bats to be even more comfortable.
Down the cleanup, Alex DiGiacinto, the Canadian. 1 for 4 on his line. RBI single back in the opening frame. Tonight's game. He quickly finds himself down 0-2. Santiago is probably going to be more likely than not asked to get these final 6 outs, but so far it's been 2 up, 2 down with no trouble, and he has DiGiacinto down 0-2. Santiago into the wide. It's fouled off near that Mustang dugout. Look out. DiGiacinto attended Cardinal Carter High School in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Come to the Phil Welch early. You might see DeSantiago playing a round of fungo golf with Jace Johnson and Michael and Franca, but right there, throws the hands up. A big strikeout and some emotion shown from DeSantiago. 2 strikeouts in the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Diego. Renegades are down to their final 3 outs, but the Mustangs hitters are coming back up. They lead 12-7, headed to the bottom of the 8th. Back out, bottom of the 8th, excuse me, here at Phil Welch. Plenty of fireworks here tonight as your Mustangs lead 12-7 and come to the plate with a chance to add on and are just 3 outs away from their league-leading 15th win of the year and 9th Mink League win of the year. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Jack Mosh gets us started. So far tonight, he's 1 for 3, an RBI triple. He's also scored 2 runs. Second time he's facing Connor Head, who's given the Renegades a lot of things to smile about out of the bullpen. Has yet to allow a run. He's allowed 1 run, excuse me. So he has allowed a run. He's allowed 1 run, but has thrown up 3 straight zeros and at least given the Renegades offense a chance to try and make a comeback, but Mustang pitching has been up to the challenge themselves.
Like we said, just a bunch of zeros out on that scoreboard out in right center field, and it has just come between both of these bullpens. I mean, Head really came in, like you said, threw out some fireworks, and what doesn't look like a firework type of score. I mean, Head is really doing his job pretty well.
Mosh grounds one right back up the middle and through into center. His second hit of the night and a leadoff single here in the 8th.
A little bit down in the zone, and Mosh did a good job just putting the wood on it. Got a good piece of the bat and drove it right up the middle, just past the glove of Head. Just squeaked into center field, and the Mustangs up 5, trying to increase their lead going into the 9th.
And it's one of those things, one of those what-ifs for Coach Mike D'Amelia. What if Connor Head had been his first call to the bullpen? instead of calling upon Luke Eastman, who would only make it 2/3 of an inning in the 4th and yield 5 runs. What if Eastman hadn't been the guy that he called upon? What if it had been Head? How much different would this game be? But nonetheless, it's Chris Coy, who's walked twice and also scored a run and stolen a base. That one gets by Miller and allows Mosh to move up 90 feet into scoring position on the wild pitch.
Another option for the Mustangs. Got a free one. Free 90 feet for them, and looking to capitalize off of that with no outs. Coy looking to do his job, trying to get some more firepower going. And like you said, if you yield those 5 runs, 5-6 runs, I mean, this is a tied 1-run lead for the Renegades. So
that one, Coy ripped to left, and that'll land in front of Toe. Mosh had to watch it fall, so he just moves up to 3rd. But Chris Coy is on for the 3rd time tonight in his first hit.
what a deke out there by Toe. I mean, a good swing nonetheless by Coy, but it looked like it was going to hold up for just a little bit longer, but Toe did a really good job kind of going up front like he was going to catch it, then stepping back, because if it falls, Mosh was on his horse, likely scoring, but no outs. Runners on the corners for Trevor McCollum.
Now Trevor McCollum, he's driven in 3 tonight. Has a pair of hits and also scored 3 runs. That one grounded off the mound. High play for Fleegan off his glove, and it's RBI number 4 for Trevor McCollum, and run number 13. Make it a baker's dozen for the Mustangs here tonight.
Another victim there. Head gets another ball that was hit hard. Mosh did it back. First at bat of the inning of McCollum. Another hard hit ball up the middle. This time a bad hop and just could not get it. Was Fleeg off the glove, and another run for the Mustangs. They're cruising now, looking to go into the 9th with even more insurance.
It's Parker Griffith, who's walked 3 times, drove in a run, and has reached via an error. That one crushed deep into the gap in left center, but it hangs up for Toe, who makes the grab as Griffith just missed the barrel. He got jammed a little bit and ends up with a deep line out for the first out here in the 8th.
Both runners end up moving up an extra 90 feet on a bad throw in from left field. So 1 out. Little has a big spot. A single likely scores both.
Another miscue in the outfield by the Renegades gives Jade Little a golden opportunity to put even more on the board. Little tonight 0 for 1. He scored 2 runs because he's walked 3 times. Very patient at the plate. Takes a big rip again. It swings through another fastball and now finds himself down 0-2. With the top of the lineup and Logan Miller standing on deck. And he chases a breaking ball in the dirt for strike 3, and now back-to-back outs with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and it's now Logan Miller with 2 outs, who's trying to build on a very nice night himself. 4 RBIs to go along with McCollum to lead the team tonight. Came into the night with only 1. Now has 4 tonight. 1 for 4 night. Drove in runs on a single and was also hit by a pitch. Miller, another born and raised kid here from St. Joe, attends Minnesota State Mankato. So he takes a big rip at a pitch. Swings through it 1-1. He's also another returner. who already has more hits this year in just 12 games than he did all of last year in 20. It's been another guy that Johnny Coy has called upon for more playing time and more high leverage playing time, and he has answered that call. Extended his hit streak to 10 games tonight. Now way ahead 3-1 and looking to get Darius Freeman up to the dish. That one high pop up on the infield. Fleeg calling for it. And squeezes it to retire the side. But one home in the inning for St. Joe on 3 hits, 2 left. We're headed to the 9th. Diego de Santiago on to close it out as your Mustangs now lead 13-7 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Unfortunately, Diego de Santiago not on to close out the 9th, as it'll be Jace Johnson making his 8th appearance in 8 innings. 2.25 ERA as he finally allowed some runs his last time out, but still 18 strikeouts, just 4 walks, and opponents are only hitting 111 against him, as again, another high leverage guy that when his number is called, he's a scary guy you don't want to be facing if you're at the plate. So it's the middle of the order for the Renegades, trying to mount any sort of comeback. Drew Vonderhaar, Maddox Meyer, and Tyler Toe.
Johnson just looking to get 3 easy outs here, close this one out. I mean, it was up 5. Now it's a 6-run lead going into it. So a little bit more comfortability for Johnson as he's just trying to get the Mustangs yet another Mink League victory.
He gave up 2 runs against Sedalia on Tuesday. That 7-3 win. First time he'd give up any runs this season. So he has Vonderhaar down 1-2, and Vonderhaar off the hands is just able to stay alive. Mustangs 3 outs away from win number 15 and Mink League win number 10. As Vonderhaar swings through a breaking ball, he strikes out. Second time Vonderhaar struck out tonight. And strikeout number 19 for Johnson of the season.
I mean, what a pitch, and just it really capitalizes how this whole game has gone. I mean, you go down a bunch of runs in the first half of the game. The Mustangs come back, storm back, get some runs in that middle half of the game, and now Johnson now 2 outs away. What it looked like, Truman, in the first couple of innings that the Mustangs were probably going to be going down at home, now looking really confident with 2 outs remaining.
Now it'll be Maddox Meyer. Takes strike one on the inside corner. Johnson's so deceptive on his delivery. Just low and misses with that one to Meyer.
Good payoff pitch there from Johnson. Now he got him in another 2-strike count. Back-to-back strikeouts here from the righty who comes over near that sidearm type of pitch. Looking to get a dominant 3 batters here out of the pen.
1-2 from Johnson. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts, and now the Renegades are down to their last life as Maddox Meyer goes down swinging.
I mean, Johnson's coming out here making it look too easy. Just throwing pitches, blowing them by these Renegade hitters. They look helpless out there here in the 9th as they're just trying to inch back, but Johnson's got different plans. He's looking for win number 15. Mink double digits in 10, and now 1 out away. What a flip around this Mustangs team has had tonight.
Tyler Toe is the last hope for the Renegades. He's 1 for 3, singled and scored a run all the way back in the 3rd. He's also played a stellar left field, robbing plenty of Mustangs of extra base hits. But he's ahead of Johnson here, 2-0. Take anything short of a miracle for the Renegades to pull off this comeback. Now Toe ahead 3-0. And it's a 2-out, 4-pitch walk, so don't go anywhere, folks. The Renegades still have life.
Quality at bat there from Toe. From Miller, my apologies, as he drew walk on 4 pitches. Just really nice. He's just trying to keep this game alive, and anything counts for the Renegades right now as they've been quiet. They're just looking to get some firepower. Only 2 hits behind the Mustangs, and they're just looking to get some runners on.
So now it'll be Miller. He takes strike 1. Now Toe moves up to second on the defensive indifference, but the Renegades down to their final strike. Crowd on their feet here at Phil Welch. Cowbells are ringing, bells are dinging. Johnson ready at the belt, the 0-2. Just outside as now Toe scampers over to third on another defensive indifference. Miller was able to spit on that breaking ball to the outside. Can he spit again? Down 1-2. Johnson's offering just off the corner. Definitely some disgruntled groans from the Mustangs dugout. They thought for sure that clipped the corner. But we'll do it again. 2-2 from Johnson. This one skips off the shin guard of Griffith as Toe will score and make the score now 13-8 on the wild pitch.
First run of the ball game since the 3rd inning for these Renegades. And like I said, they're just looking for anything now, a full count. Miller has an opportunity to keep this one going.
Johnson's full count. Inside. So now back-to-back walks. Here and had Miller down 0-2, but couldn't get him to chase as it's now the 9-hole Connor Fleeg.
Right now, Johnson just got to throw some strikes. Trust the defense. You only give one out to give, and, it's just right now in this opportunity. You don't want to give any more free runs to these Renegades. Can't have another first and second inning happen, and you're just looking to get out of it.
Fleeg 0 for 1. He's walked twice, laid down a sacrifice bunt, and struck out swinging. Unfortunately for Johnson, that run is charged to him because they allowed Toe to just scamper around the bases because his run did not matter. This would be the guy to get. Just get the 9-hole. Don't even allow the lineup to turn over. Just off the plate. That sidearm delivery from Johnson. He gets a lot of east to west movement on his pitches. It'll be so hard for hitters to gauge whether it's going to clip the zone or go way outside. That one is way outside. Now 2-1.
Once again, these Renegade hitters are watching that go from east to west, and that one, again, just trailed that west side of the plate. 2 outside once again for Johnson, just trying to reel it back in to the left a little more from our angle.
That one on the outside, now 2-2, and again, Renegades down to their final strike. This antsy crowd on their feet, rooting Johnson on. He comes set. The pitch. Called! Strike 3 on the corner, and that'll do it. Saddle up, Mustangs Nation. Your Mustangs improved to 15-2 and 10-1 in the Mink with a dominant come-from-behind 13-8 victory over the Jeff City Renegades.
Another dominant outing that started off really rocky. Go down 2 runs in the first, and then 4-0 in the second, but then you put up 3 to make it a 1-run game. Then you go back down another 4. Then you put 3 more up, and then 6 in the fourth is the catalyst for tonight. 13 runs on 9 hits for these Mustangs. They made it look all too easy in that second half of the ball game. And Truman, it's really just one thing to see a team that has been dominant all season so far, and in the first half of the game, you can hear us go back and say something we've never seen before from the Mustangs, and just glimpses of a team that isn't like themselves. Harrington, not the best outing in the world, but then we get to see the bullpen. Then we get to see the guys become more comfortable. And then what our remarks kind of put us a slap in the face. And then, boom, a brand new ball game is on, and it just looked like Mustangs baseball from the 5th inning and on. Not only 1 run after the 4th, but these Mustangs in the bullpen come in and do their job in yet another victory.
Quite the victory it was. We finally saw them have to come from behind for more than just 1 or 2 runs, as it was quite the victory here tonight from your Mustangs. They win it 13-8. Caden Carter gets his first win on the season. And Luke Eastman takes the loss as Trevor McCollum, your player of the game, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, 3 runs, and 2 stolen bases. It's quite the performance from him, his first player of the game honorees. And Jackson, as we close, your final thoughts as the Mustangs now improve to 15-2.
Just keep the momentum going. I know the first half of the game was just not your best ball, but just kind of be a goldfish. Forget about what happened in the first half. Go in the second half mindset. Bring that into tomorrow against a nice team against Carroll. I've already seen them, a couple times this season. And then on the road stretch, you took two of the 3 last time, so go around.
continue that momentum, continue the pitching. You know, the bullpen, maybe talk to those starters. Say, hey, Harrington didn't have the best look, but let's go in. Let's be dominant. Let's get some doors going. And then just keep the confidence up in the batter's box. You know, the guys put up 9 hits, but then 13 runs, keep the runners on base. Good things will happen with this ball club if runners on base and you got guys coming out of the pen. And I have full confidence in this team to go anywhere in the Mink and come out with victories, Truman.
Well, that'll do it from us here tonight. Your final score, your Mustangs win 13-8 over the Jefferson City Renegades. They improve to 15-2 and 10-1 in the Mink and continue to pace the Mink. But for my partner, Jackson Phelps, I've been Truman Griesel. All Mustangs live streams are archived on the youtube.com St. Joseph Mustangs. Clicking under the live tab, highlights will be posted. Check out all the rest of the content on there. Reading with Rowley, as well as the podcast with Andrew Clark, Andrew Clark's player vlog, different mic'd up players each week. But we say so long from Phil Welch. Your Mustangs are winners 13-8. We'll be back at you tomorrow. 7 o'clock first pitch is your Mustangs. Welcome in the